Whole lab setup.
We're gonna dip it in some.
I can't give away my secrets. All right, guys. So what's covered on this test, by the way? What do we got?
Arithmetic.
Hey, guys. There we go. What do we got? Chapter 4.
Arithmetic stuff.
Yeah, chapter 4's got all the other civilizations, including the other bases. I like it. Also, chapter 5. Chapter 5's got what? It's got the sequences and the Fibonacci sequence and all that. Cool. And then we got chapter 8.
For pi, do you always want us to use 3.14? Or what? Because there was a question where we...
Oh. I'm hoping most of you have a scientific calculator, possibly. Maybe even a graphing calculator. You don't have to have a graphing calculator. Scientific calculators can do a stupid amount of things, and they cost like $15. It's crazy. But if you have a pi key,
I do.
there you go.
But mine, I couldn't figure out, even though I changed modes, it was always pi. Because it's
Oh, it doesn't show you. Well, good, because it can't show you. If I said show me all the digits of pi, you'd say no, thank you. I only have one lifetime to live. That would take me a little too long. So that's your calculator saying, dude, my screen's only so big. So guess what? It's pi. What do you want? But oh, I see the result.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a problem. I agree with you.
I put it on scientific.
No, there's a different. You got to show me later. I'll show you. There's a different mode you got to put it on. All right. Formula. So from chapter 4, there's really nothing, right? Chapter 4 is the. I'm going to give you the Egyptian symbols. I think I said I'm going to give you the Romans, even though I shouldn't. Oh well. You guys still with me?
Yes.
Those of you that want to do well on the test? Yeah, that's a teacher thing to say. Mayan base I'll give you, but not the Mayan numerals. I'm going to make you know those. What are the Mayan numerals? Yeah, blueberries and pancakes, or dots and dashes. I like it. For some reason, people start to think that this means 10. That means what in Mayan? 5. I like it. Cool. One pancake is 5. I like it. What else we got? I'm going to give you the Chinese symbols, right? Yes, ma'am.
So we only need to know the lines when you don't know it's 19.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, and then the places I'll give you, because it's a little weird, 1, 20, 18 times 20, 360, right? I'll give you that just like I did on that quiz a while back. Yeah. All right. I think that's everybody there. Cool. Yes? Oh.
I have a question. For the corrections for this quiz, do we turn it in Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the quiz you got today, they're due, as always, the day of the next test, which is this Wednesday. All right. If you turn it in late, it's late. You'll still get some points back if you do enough of it right. But if you want as many points back as you can get, you need to turn it in this Wednesday. Why do I do that evilness? Because it'll help you get ready for the test. It's crazy. Method to the madness. Okay, so the first formulas we hit are chapter 5. We have these guys. What's that for?
Finding and trying to make a sequence.
Sweet. What kind of sequence?
Arithmetic.
Arithmetic. Kick-ass. Yeah. It's like it's got the same 2 letters as me, the first 2 letters, so I'm going to know all about it. So AN, that's for arithmetic. You can't write arithmetic next to it. You can't write little notes for yourself. It's just not good. Aw, it's too bad. Anybody remember this formula for the sum of this? Sum of all the terms in an arithmetic sequence? Yeah. What are you doing? N over 2. Cool. So the idea is the first and last added will be repeated as you step in, and you'll make this many pairs as you do that. So in math, people don't realize if you understand what something means, you have less to memorize because it just makes sense. And I don't memorize this shit. I just go, this is how many pairs, and this is what all the sums are. I mean, I don't try to like force it in my brain. Just try to see how it makes sense. Now the nice thing is for you guys, you don't have to memorize it. So so what about the other one? Geometric. And that's based on multiplication, right?
Yeah. You gonna keep that?
I like it. Cool. And hopefully some of you guys understand the math here. If only they would have chosen their first element to be a 0, this would have been an n, and this would have been an n, the formulas would have looked a lot better. This n minus 1 stuff is because the first step, the first place, I take 0 steps to get there, because that's where I am. That's where I was born, here. And then I start taking steps. And then the sum for this one's a little bit freakier. So if you want to, you can do that. I don't care. That's a group them together. Just can't put little notes for yourself. The sum was the freaky one. I tried to prove where it came from, but that got freaky. That's when I showed you that neat process for turning a repeating decimal into a fraction. I don't know if you guys remember that. You guys are like, we did what? Oh well, alright. You remember that a little bit? You had to multiply to move the decimal over so you can kill the repeating part? Okay. Alright, and then we have chapter,
And so it'll always be the subtraction sign's isolated from the R to the N, right?
so the mistake that's made here is, for example, on the quiz, some of you guys had an R that was negative. But what's order operations say? You can't just make this minus and this negative cancel, because that's multiplication. And what comes before multiplication?
The exponent.
Exponents.
But you do it, it'd be negative 2 to the 5th, not 2 to the 5th. And then
Exactly. And then you could do the negative. Yeah. Then this can interact. The good old, please excuse my dumb ass son, it never stops. It's always there. Or Giron Sally, however you want to say it. And then I think this is it, because then chapter 8, I'm going to give you that table of conversions between metric and our system, right? You've got to know the King Henry thing if you want to. King Henry died doing some stuff. Unintentionally, I like that. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, here's some formulas you can write down. This is a formula we came up with last time, and then this guy is the reverse of that guy. All right, what's that for?
Celsius and Fahrenheit.
Kick ass. I like it. It's a 5. Yeah. I don't want too many variables in there. By the way, this is a very good point that you just made. Considering how poorly I write, you might want to check these against the book. Because your eyes might be telling you something that I didn't write. So, yeah, check it against the book. Creak that book up. Oh yeah, we're not there yet. I think that's it. Any other suggestions for formulas that you think I left off? Chapter 4, 5, and 8.
What about that big thing with all the weird liters to other things?
I'm going to give you that. The one that's like cubic decimeters. Yeah. I'm going to give you that a copy of that box.
On this formula sheet, are we allowed to write all the metric little things like the King Henry?
No, you got to know that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why there's that mnemonic device exists, so you can remember.
Yeah.
All right, so good. That's it. That's all that can be in your formula sheet right there. Cool. And then for the next test after this, we're going to add more formulas, and you can just add it to this formula sheet, or you can make another sheet. You can bring tons of sheets of formulas with you, as long as they're all just formulas, no notes. I like it. I hate it. Have you ever had a teacher that made you do like a little note card of stuff? I love it. That's when I get really old and really bitter. Yeah, we don't want to laugh at you. Look at you trying to fit it all today. No, I'm not quite there yet. I'm going to get to the point where write it on a piece of rice and bring it in. Yeah, no, I'm not quite there yet. Bunch of dumb kids, you put it on the rice. Show it to me. I'm not there yet, so you can. I don't care. You can put it on poster board as long as it doesn't bother people around you. Cool. Poster board, I like that. Just put giant freaking formulas around you. Right? Make a little castle. I like that little fort. Formula fort. I like that. All right. So that's it for the formula sheet. What do you guys want to focus on now? I got the answer key that I'll give you in a few. Try to force some of you guys to stay a little longer.
Can we go more into 8?
What about 8?
I don't know.
What answer?
The answer key for the practice test.
Yeah, let's do that.
For the real test, dude.
Yeah.
I like that. It's
You
fun.
really want to give me this day.
I don't feel like grading this next test, so I'll still have people make mistakes because they won't be able to copy correctly. But oh, well. That was a joke just for me. Yes, because I know it's true. Huh?
What are you talking about?
24 and 48.
48. Oh yeah, good. This is one I always get questions on. Everybody got this here? Wait. No. So this is page 471, number 48. 1 gram is the same as 5 carats. David Eric's new ring contains a precious stone that is 1/8 of a carat. And they want to find the weight of the stone in grams. Cool. 1 ring. This freaks people out just because of the fraction. I mean, if they said, let me see, if they said 10 carats, how many grams would that be?
2.
Yeah, 2 grams. Is everybody able to see that math? If I said 10 carats is how many grams? It has to be 2. What'd you do? You took 10,
Multiplied it.
divided by 5. So I don't care what number I put here, what are you always going to do? Divide it by 5. And what's the other way to see that happening? 1/8 of a carat. I want to go from carats to grams, so what do I want to put down here?
Grams. Carat.
Carats, so that they'll cancel. And then I put in the conversion. 1 gram, 5 carats. What does this say to do? Divide. Somehow this becomes 40, or this becomes 5/8 or something. What? So what is this telling me to do here? This tells me to take 1/8 and do what?
Divide.
Divide by
5.
5. And you know how to do that. I say that like it's true because I don't want to believe it's not true.
Job switch. What is that?
How do you do that?
Multiply by the reciprocal.
Multiply by the reciprocal. I love it. I love it. Damn. I didn't say, damn, Daniel.
Nice. Damn, Gina.
Now it's Gina?
That's Martin Lawrence. Damn, Gina.
Oh, that's for, okay. Now it is? No. It was. All right, I got you.
Ew, old school stuff.
All right, guys. So is that cool for that one? Who asked that question? It's almost done, so yeah, it has to be.
It's like really nasty right
Am I?
now. Stop.
Do you guys know why you divide, when you divide fractions, you multiply with the reciprocal? Do you know why?
I was just told drop switch flip when I was a kid, so.
Sounds like it's what you do when you're on fire. No. So, am I on fire? Am I doing fractions? So, real quick, just this has got nothing to do with it. Just real quick. If I want to do 3/4 divided by 2/3, I'm going to write this in a really stupid way. That's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Looks disgusting.
Yeah.
It would be so much nicer if the bottom was 1, because whatever the top was would be the answer. Do you guys understand?
Yeah.
Something over 1 is it. What do I multiply the bottom by to make it 1?
Reciprocal.
Yeah. If I do that to the bottom of the fraction, I better do it to the top. All right, so that is equivalent to that. Bam, done. That's why you multiply with the reciprocal, because that's how the math would work. All right, so.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are. So you flip it, all right. Yes, you flip it. So what's next? Anything else
Can you
from?
do an example where you're trying to convert something into a cubed, like measure of something else?
Okay, yeah. All right. So let's say we know. So 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters, right? So let's say I want to know 11 cubic centimeters equals how many cubic inches? I did this kind of thing on the answer key. Now stay with me. I want to show you a slightly different way that I've shown you before. Let me see if you guys agree with me here. So we got 11 cubic centimeters. What do you want to get rid of, considering where you want to be? What do you want to get rid of?
Cubic centimeters.
I want to get rid of all the centimeters, right? Well, if I take care of one of them, how many do I have to take care of still? 2. So if I take out another one and another one. Now, all together, don't 1, 2, 3. They all kill the whole thing now, right? And every time I have one of those on the bottom, I got inches on the top. So 1 inch is 2.54. So normally you would divide by 2.54, but since it's cubic, you're going to divide by 2.54 cubed. So you could actually always do this. If it's squared, you're going to have 2 of these set up, and that's why you end up squaring the number that you're working with. Here it's cubed, so you end up cubing the number that you're working with. That's the shortcut, but this is why. This is another reason why. Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a question?
Yeah, can you do number 81 on 5.7?
Oh, all right. We sort of looked at this one before, and this is where if I increase something by 6%, how much of it do I have? Like if I had $800 and I increased it by 6%, how much would I then have? Well, $800 is 100% of what I had. So if I add 6% of that, now I have what percentage of what I had? I have 106% of what I had. Right? So one way to do this is to say, well, it would be 1.06 times 800. Now, watch why that makes sense. How do I increase this by 6%? Stay with me. If I'm making $800 a week, that's all right. And then I get a 6% pay increase, right? It would now be 800 plus 6% of 800, right? All right, cool. Now watch this. Watch algebra come and save our ass. These both have an 800 in them, so I can take an 800 out. And what am I left with? 1 plus 0.06, which is 1.06. So what does that represent? 106% of what I had before. All right, cool. Are you good with me so far? So if I increase something by 12%, I could just say it's 1.12 times what it was. That's what it becomes after I increase it. All right, so here this says your salary increases at a rate of 6% per year. This is number 8157. Find your salary during your 15th year if your original salary is $31,000. Okay, cool. So now take it back to variables that go with my sequences. What would the variable be for 31,000? What letter would I use?
A1.
A1. I love it. This, we know now, is multiplying by 1.06. So what's that going to be? What letter will that take on? R, because it's based
It's
on
geometric.
multiplication.
Yeah.
Right? They're not just adding $1.06 every year.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Woohoo!
It's like 20 nuggets, man.
That's 20 nuggets. Holy crap.
At Burger King had a really good deal on nuggets. It was that cheap. Definitely
No,
not cheap. You know it's not real, but it doesn't matter because it tastes good.
That's why it's that cheap.
Yeah.
All that 10 nuggets for like $1.50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like so lit, dude.
Solid. Ass, bro.
Those are the bags they found at the bottom of the freezer. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
gotta
just
sell
the
this
beat,
shit.
just the beat, dude.
All right, ready? It used to be meat, maybe. Part of it. All right, so enough of that. That's gross. So we got this, and what's 15 going to be?
And
N. Yeah.
at least they're repurposing.
So now you just have to plug that in. It wants to know, guys, hey, find your salary during your 15th year. It didn't say find out how much money you would make over 15 years. That would be SN. They want your 15th year salary, so that would be AN. So now you just set up the geometric formula, the A1 times R, blah, blah, blah. So it's all about identifying what they tell you and where they go in the formulas. What variables are they? So stay with me. If I made $20 an hour, let's say, and I increased, at the end of the first year, I increased by this much, right? I increased by 6%. That's how much I'm going to make for the next year. Are you with me?
Yeah.
And then the next year, they increase me by 6% again. So I'm going to take what I'm making now and multiply that by 1.06. So now I'm making 20 times 1.06 squared. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make, mathematically, does that make sense? And so that's why the formula just captures all that in one fell swoop. And says, man, if you want to know the 15th year, this would be this is the second year, this would be the third year. If you want to know the 15th year, you put a 14 there. That's what you're going to end up doing there when you plug it in. Because you just keep multiplying by this as many years as you need to go down the road. Just collects here. It just because then the next year I'm going to do it by another one. So guess what? Now I got 3 there. I mean, that's why this makes sense. That's why it works.
Because in the formula it's R minus
Why
1,
doesn't
right?
it build off
N minus
the
1.
new
N minus
total?
See again?
Why doesn't it?
It
build
totally
off the new
does
total?
because, all right. So I make $20 the first year, right? What is that, Jeff? How much am I going to make the second year? What's 20 times 1.06? Let's make it $200 a week. Let's make it a nicer number here. What's 200 times 1.06? 212, exactly. Because 6% of 200 would be 12. Add on top of 1. So that'd be 212 the second year. You guys kind of with me?
Now 0.06 times 212.
Exactly. What is 212? So 212 times 1.06 I agree with, right? But didn't 212 come from this?
Yeah.
So that'd be 1.06 times this, which is 200 times 2 of these. That's what I'm saying. That's why this formula is going to be 31,000 times 14 of these.
Makes sense.
Dude. That's part of this class is just realizing that the level of math you need for a lot of the stuff in this book is not like really intense. It's more, you got to really understand why it works. The more you understand why it works, the less you got to memorize. The more you can just do the work because you know why it works. Okay. Anything else from the book or from the practice test? All right, let me do this. Let me give you guys the answer key. Check my work.
Yeah, we do some after the test.
So our formula sheet, do we hand it to you when?
When you take your test. When you turn the test in, you give it to me.
These all.
So number 8, I did that. It's not up here anymore, but where I killed. Number 8's the one with square kilometers, square miles. So when I set up the conversion, I just put a couple kilometers so I can kill both kilometers. I teach very violent math. Y'all just accept that, huh? It's the Game of Thrones time, era. Anybody else watch Game of Thrones? It's horrific. I actually have words going with this song. It involves one of the worst scenes. Yes.
You obviously have seen Scooby-Doo. time. Remember that?
Oh, yes, sure.
When they go back to the Knights of Venice.
Yes. I forgot on number 6H. I'm not going to give you the conversion between gallons and cups and pints and teaspoons and all that stuff. I'm just going to give you the metric. So you can use that directly. But if you happen to know how many cups are in a gallon and so forth and how many pints, number 6H you could do a different way. 6H doesn't come out the same number each way because they rounded their liter conversion. So it's not going to come out the same. So as long as you show me what you're doing, if you're using valid numbers, I'm okay with it. Yes?
So for the other ones, like inches to like centimeters and stuff, do I have to know those conversions?
No. I'm going to give you the table that's in section 8.4. The one that I had up on the overhead before, page 465. It tells you yards to whatever meters and so forth.
Can we have like our own?
No.
He's giving you the.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a copy of that.
Numbers.
You're trash. You're trash. Where you go?
So that's what you get as liters here. Oh.
No, I think
I'm just trying to use a pints. Oh, gallons? Oh, I see. But I had a straight thing for pints, so a straight thing. Yeah, on that table. So there's, they round differently. So your answer won't be necessarily exactly the same.
That's fine, I'm curious. I want to ask.
You're good. If you're ready for the test, I mean, I got nothing. Hopefully you guys understand that by now. We've had one other test review. It's totally depending on what you guys want to talk about. If you don't want to talk about anything, if you're ready for the test, you don't have to sit here.
yeah. I'm gonna go start on the homework. So.
Okay?
Alright, thanks, man.
Okay.
Yes.
So, well, obviously, did you give me back my homework corrections from last class? Because I don't seem to have them.
Oh, I haven't graded any homework corrections.
Oh.
Yeah, those I grade if I have time. They're not due till the final exam day anyway.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh no, did I misplace it? Okay, so.
Corrections I haven't graded.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's kind of, did I give you my homework and I don't know if I have it. I don't know if I corrected it, that's why I can't remember.
Oh, that's what you can't remember.
That's why I want to ask you, do you have it?
I
Don't you
should.
buy your office hours
If
tomorrow?
anybody has it. Yeah, because I have several stacks of
Yeah, is
stuff.
that okay if we come back tomorrow?
Of course.
Okay.
That's why I have
I'll
them.
get your office hours.
Okay.
Bye.
Yes.
I like the idea of using the covers. See if you could shorthand it, so you might have like.
But see, then at some point, so personal opinion comes into play then, and your which could be possibly an aspect of your number system you like. So, but then you can't communicate with other people. You think this movie's really good, so it's number 91. Somebody else is like, well, that movie is like a 4. So you mean 41? No, I mean 91. You see what I'm saying? So it's, if everybody had the same opinion about everything, critics would
Okay,
exist.
so 1 through 9 are immutable static symbols, and only 0 and 10 are interchangeable. And those either have to be like.
Oh, I see. And they're from a list that's accepted. An accepted
There's
list.
a general,
Okay.
like an unwritten canon.
Sure.
Cause like Citizen Kane, that's a 10. Anything by Creed, that's 0.
Citizen Kane's crap.
What?
Joke.
What? Oh, fuck this.
Oh, what did
you really
see your
think
ex?
that?
No.
You're fucking with me. God.
Sorry. That was a little too easy to do, by the way. Yeah, okay. I'm just thinking about And I like the thing you had in there about the keyboards being adjusted, but if I'm just handwriting something.
Well, here's the thing. That's what you mathematicians are for. That's why I put that in there. Remember, there's the underground, you know.
Alright, so that's what I want to see from you then, is what would it look like written?
So you'd be just our system.
Oh, no, I see. That's no good. No, I need something better than that.
So I had to
I
make two
need
systems?
you you're like doing zero math then and all, albeit very interesting, but just all creative backstory.
Yeah.
No math, that's no good. I need something mathematical.
Well, it's base 11, this man.
Huh? Well, show me how it works.
Alright, so I'll just make a practical.
Give me some examples, yeah.
The homework, when is the latest we can turn it in if we don't have the day of the test?
Oh, well then the latest you can turn is the day of the final.
The day of the
But the
final?
later it is, the less points you'll get.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Actually, I gave you my whole bunch of the four, but I didn't get that.
What's your name?
Ken? The four.